Hello to my psychic zodiac tribe. Thank you for joining me. I hope the new year has started safe and well for you all. Happy New Year 2020. Wow. Hello Scorpio, welcome to your January zodiac wheel reading. I'm Elle and thank you for tuning in. I'd also like to thank you too for any of your prayers sent this way for healing and protection for Australia and what's been going on down here. It's been rather a mind-boggling time actually, but everything that can be put in place is in place now, so onward from here. So I've centered myself for you Scorpios and focus on the Scorpio frequency. I invite Great Spirit, angels and my guides to join me with this reading for Scorpio. Thank you for any messages that come through in this reading for Scorpio's highest good and for the good of all concerned. What messages are there for Scorpions here through January? Ooh, I'll take the ones that have turned over. Okay, I'll put those on top because they were the next ones. That one was first. Oh, lovely. Okay, so we also have the Scorpion card there. Beautiful colours. Now, Scorpio, first house area is being influenced by messages of love. Lovely. Now, the first house also represents the Scorpion rising ascendant in the wheel. Now, the ascendant is about our soul's deepest intentions. And it's where we view the world. So this is, you know, how we see things. And this is how the world sees us and how we deal with it. Basically, the 10th house in comparison to the first house. And the fourth house, the base of it, is about how we feel personally. So this is saying that there's messages of love coming to you and from you. So, and there's a sensual energy attached to that as well. So, ooh. So if you've been hoping to hear something, you know, really meaningful from someone that you love here through January, you will get that message. And it could be you are the one that needs to send out that message. Because the Capricorn energy that we're under with the stellium, which is the Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Pluto in particular at the moment, that energy is sometimes has us in a caught in a belief system that we're the ones that need to be nurtured and cared for and looked after, but our higher service or our higher purpose is to serve others, and if we can tap into that and be of service to others, through pure intent, not expecting to get anything in return. When you can reach that, you're starting to reach self-mastery. And that is also the soul's purpose, is to, you know, reach self-mastery. And that means discipline, self-control, accepting your role in any given situation. So these messages of love being shown here are coming from you and also coming to you. Okay? So there is some level of acceptance being shown here with these cards that you've come to, Scorpio. And there is a letting go. You've got the Six of Swords there. This is your measure of self-worth and your system of survival, because the human survival instinct is so incredibly strong, as is all animals' instincts to survive. And we are a part of nature. We're not separate from it. So, yeah, there's that willingness to survive. And you are moving away from those haunting, hurtful thoughts or memories with the Six of Swords. Sailing out of trouble there. And you may need to turn to see, with this Eight of Cups here next to that, you may need to turn to see that, you know, even that there's things from your past, or possibly past lives, for those of you that are connected or feel in touch with past lives. There's a need to turn and see that even though there was things that happened to damage your self-worth, with all those swords coming at you in the past, you need to turn to see that that isn't what's happening now, in the now. And look within yourself to see whether or not you're holding on to grudges that really aren't relevant in the now. And therefore you need to let those go, because they're only going to damage you no matter how far you run or try and run, which is, you know, nothing wrong with getting out of your routine or going somewhere else to have a nice experience, so that you can, you know, lay down some really positive memories. That's what wonderful experiences do. But if you're not at peace with it, and let it stay in the past, don't keep bringing it up and bringing it into the future, because, you know, that Scorpion energy is really a very strong, penetrating kind of energy, and unfortunately Scorpios can tend to get obsessed about one thing, and then they can't let go of it. They just keep coming back to it and coming back to it and going over and over and over again. And this is about your family dynamics here in this sixth house. But it's not about your family actually that you have to deal with now, if that makes any sense. And there's a real need here to turn to see, with the base of the matter, in your home, your hometown, your home country, you've got the world. And in your family environment. And sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. I don't know why my guides are telling me that, but sometimes doing nothing is the best way to handle situations. So don't sort of lash out or go over the top, whether it's going over the top, lavishing love everywhere with that energy of love being so strong, or whether it's going over the top, you know, to try and fix everything for everybody. Because for you Scorpions, that stellium is here in your 3rd house, and that's the most powerful effects of it are between the 12th to 22nd, really, with the Moon, Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto. On the 12th, Mercury's in there, but then Mercury moves out on the 13th, 17th, sorry, moves into Aquarius. So then the Moon moves into the stellium on the 22nd. Okay? Now, the South Node, which is about past lives, whether it's in this past or whether it's ancestral past, because the ancestor energy is playing a major shifting energy for us all at the moment. I feel that very strongly. So with the South Node in Capricorn, for some of you Scorpios, for others it may have moved on, but I'm seeing it as being in the 2nd house. So that self-worth and sense of your support system is being influenced here by this. And Jupiter. Jupiter's also sort of conjunct the South Node. It's running at the same sort of degree as the South Node. So the quest for you is to learn self-control. You need to let go of the ingrained attitude of the past lives and to place emphasis on spiritual values. Alright? Now, Jupiter's influence there is letting you know with Jupiter in Capricorn that you're entering a new cycle in your life if you turn to notice the signs of growth. So there's a real turning point in things here. And you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can keep parts of your life. You don't have to get rid of it all. You just have to stop thinking about the past and letting it fester into your present. Because that way you can see the joy starting over. And there is joy here. You've got that turning away from emotional difficulties within yourself, and that it's you may feel that it's to do with siblings or your neighbourhood, or you know, having to deal with day-to-day stuff that it is emotional, and it is it's not that there's not any emotion involved in it, but there's joy, because the Eight of Cups is about your cups all being full. And you have the world at your feet. It's again turning to notice it. This to me is saying there's a turning point here in January where you notice that, you know, how you do have so many blessings in your life to do with your home, your young environmental roots, your parents, and indeed to do with something to do with moving in, you know, completing where you're living now. So you may want to move into another premises. The world shows that you can do that as well. So don't rule that out also. Now, the moon up there with this full moon in Cancer, lunar eclipse, depending on where you are in the world, it could be the 10th or 11th of January, is up here in that 9th house area, which is opposing this communication house down here. So there is the travel in both situations, with all the stellium in the Capricorn energy down here in your 3rd house, and the full moon lunar eclipse up here in your 9th house. So for those of you that are wanting to be going somewhere that's a long distance, this is going to manifest. And usually with eclipses, it's, you know, anywhere up to 6 months where the energies are felt and things are put into place from that time of the eclipse. So the lunar eclipse effect on you will be one of understanding the global situation at a more more thorough. I'm hearing the word thorough. But you also will be feeling that there's a bit of comfort through adventure and exploring the world through higher learning and travel, philosophy, and a foreign country is involved with that, which it does look like that because you've got a whole new lot of ideas up there with the Ace of Wands wanting to take you in that direction of understanding the world in a more broader sense. So all that kind of energy is being put into place to get the ball rolling. So the things that are unfolding now are taking you in that direction for those of you that want to do that. Others may not necessarily need to travel or go to foreign lands. Others of you may just be interested in educating yourself about that sort of thing. Okay? But at the same time, holding on to your homeland for those of you that are travelling. You know, there's a part of your home that will always be a part of who you are. Now, here in your area of what brings you joy, you have the 3 of Cups. So that's the time of 3, people. And the time of 3 is 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 months, and 3 times a charm. So having that there in that area which I call the fun house, you are going to be able to enjoy things a lot more. There are those of you that are looking, could be looking for fertility and wanting to actually maybe start your own family. This is an indication of birth or pregnancy too. So you could be having a lot of fun bringing that about. So very nice there with that. Now here in your area of work and work colleagues, as well as the healing area of our wheel, you've got victory and recognition. So your hard work and all your perseverance is going to be recognised, and you get a bit of a pat on the back and some acknowledgement for it. So that's a lovely one to have there. Excuse me. On the 13th of January, Venus will be moving into Pisces, into that 5th house area. Or it's already in the 5th house, but it's moving into Pisces. So that will be a nice lifting energy. Feel things deeply. So I also feel that with that Princess of Cups here, you're going to be able to instinctively know things about your loved ones. You're going to have some instincts kick in about that. So that's good. And, you know, just recognise that you're right. It doesn't mean that, you know, you have to dwell on that too much. It's just a message that they want me to tell you so that you can recognise it when it's happening, so that when you do need to really trust your instincts in other ways, you know what that instinct is and how it speaks to you. It's usually the quiet voice. The demanding, stern voice is usually the ego. So that can help you get some balance as to where you're coming from. Now here in the area of relationships, marriage and business relationships, even friendships, covers all relationships, the 7th house area. We have the Four of Swords. So that's recuperation. Like, so if you've been feeling unwell or down or feeling a little bit downtrodden, or that you want to just escape and get away and be left alone, this is the card that is saying that you will have some time to relax. Enjoy having, you know, good, decent sleeps and not worrying over your worrying. So there is that sense of, you know, wanting to get yourself out of trouble and sort of, it's not the Hermit card, it's the hibernating card. So it's sort of saying by hibernating a bit, you will sort of rebuild your equilibrium when it's to do with relationships. So maybe you're on holidays from your usual routine or something, and that can also be a type of hibernation. So I'll just ask with the divine direction for sailing out of trouble here, and see what messages divine direction has for calmer waters ahead. Here we are. Nature. So reconnect with nature. Feel the sun on your skin. Walk barefoot on the grass. So there you are. You're sailing out of trouble and you're going to be able to spend more time in nature or connecting with nature. So that's a really good way to rest those worries, because I do feel, Scorpio, that you worry about things that haven't happened yet, and so it's not actually, you know, that's not trusting your intuition by worrying. That's just got to be, with Scorpios, you Scorpios need to be careful not to obsess over something. Now, the Empress here in the 8th house is a wonderful sign again, which is what led me to sort of really think that this 3 of Cups, for some of you out there, is about pregnancy or news of the birth of a child, and that it is something that brings you joy. And again, it's a 3 as well. So the timing there again is 3. So in the 8th house, it's also a good sign for financial abundance, because the Empress is very fruitful and wants to share her abundance. Now, it also is fertility, and the 8th house is also about birth and rebirth. So some of you Scorpions are looking at starting a family, or congratulations to those of you that have actually become a new parent even. Now, the Ace of Wands here, as I said, it's about, you know, fresh new ideas and new beginnings and fresh start, as well as lifting that energy in you that is a bit more exciting than what it maybe things have been. May not have actually felt that sense of excitement for quite a while. You've certainly been feeling here with all that planetary energy through the 3rd house. You've been feeling that, you know, that you've really been tested on a human level, on a spiritual level, and even on that physical level. So it's a matter of you turning with this full moon in Cancer, turning to see where you may have unrecognized drives and passions, and where you can probe deeply into maybe the metaphysical realm. Okay, and there's that strong desire there also to be united with others. Now the Moon and Saturn connection there is also about proceeding with honour. Saturn's the Lord of Karma. So the rewards of Saturn are more sustainable for you in the long run, even though it wants you to do consistent, repetitive effort, repetitive hard work. But it's also the indicator here of a turning point. Okay? So January is a turning point, and it is about you wanting your voice to be heard and not to be afraid of being heard. Good time to write a book. For those of you that you know, are that way inclined, it really is. It's like putting your memoirs down, and if not for any you know, world acknowledgement from it, just for you getting it down on paper and you being able to keep something for future generations to show them, because everybody's life is worth a book. You know, whether you publish it or not is up to you, but write it anyway, because there's, you know, there's something that you want to share and you want to be heard. So just remember, are you suffering over your suffering? Is it now that suffering is happening to you, or are you holding on to the feelings that the past caused you? Because the past isn't happening now. What's happening now is happening now, and it's up to you. And I just feel if you can get out in nature, it's really going to really help you rise above that. And in your career, you've got some options here with the 7 of Cups, and you know, you could really find yourself being in a new role in a very beneficial position being offered to you, or you're trying to get your way in there at the very least. So that's really nice up there, having that, because the 7 is about completing and perfection and wisdom, because you know with the 7 it's showing that you know the situation may just be that you want to have a job where you actually get some time off on the weekend, so you and you don't have to miss out on your family situation for the weekend. So there's more regular time to have to enjoy yourself from your career endeavours. Now here in the area of hopes and wishes, you have the Princess of Wands. So that's messages, again, coming with that page there. Now it's also young, representing somebody young, not necessarily an adolescent, young children. So I do feel for you Scorpios that whether it's your grandchildren or your own children and you're starting a young family, that is really a strong focus and indication here through January. Now with that moon in Cancer too, it does give you that energy there in that 9th house to the 3rd house. Because the Cancer is about having that bond with your mother. So this is saying that you will have that strong bond. So as it's showing me about the birth and children coming up in this wheel, I just feel that there will be a strong bond there with the mother, or as a mother you will be strongly bonded to the child, which will in turn make the bond between you and your mother stronger, whether you're male or female. Okay, so now just some planetary movements again. Mercury moves into Aquarius on the 17th of January, so see what takes place around that time. Venus moves into Pisces on the 13th of January. Mars has already changed signs and moved into Sagittarius. And that gives you action. You know, when Mars was in Scorpio through the last couple of months there, you sort of were, you know, bogged down in the Maya time for things. So now Mars is, you know, charge that Sagittarius energy, so getting stuck in and getting things happening. And Neptune, lovely Neptune, goes direct on the 11th. Now that is again down here in the 5th house, so that will clear up any kind of confusion or misunderstandings, I feel, after the 11th of November with that Neptune going direct, or any misleading or untruths even will be revealed or cleared up and dissolved after the 11th or from the 11th onwards. It could be a little bit before. Now another energy that I feel is very strong in play at the moment is Chiron. Now Chiron's known as the wounded healer, and he's playing a powerful role at this time for healing and spiritual discovery, and that helps to heal past suffering from the past life or from the past in this life, in order to forgive and let go of your own pain from the past. So forgive yourself for holding on to it for so long and let it go. It's not necessary, especially if you're really feeling that this isn't serving you very well, because you can't change events or actions from the past. It was what it was, and now you can clear the way forward and free yourself up from holding on to unpleasant thoughts and memories. Okay? Because, you know, in the walk of life, we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But we always are still moving forward. And this is, believe it or not, taking you forward to better connections with family, because you've got the world there at your feet with that, and your nuclear family, your parents, and siblings, understanding others, and having a wonderful healing from that, because this is the area of others, and the Empress is there. So that could even be your own mother, who, you know, no matter what, she's there. And this also could be representing you becoming a mother or fertility. Okay? Now, and there's messages there about children. Now, also, I know you Scorpios love your money and your financial situation, and you have the 10 of Pentacles here. So you've got 2 cards of completion, success and completion. The world is success, everything at your feet. And this is also to do with ancestors, and it's to do with parents as well, because this is the inheritance card. This is all the hard work of your family, your parents, that they've done in order to leave something behind for future generations. And you know, I just feel with this that there is no abandonment involved with that, and your fears that make you want to run away, they will be soothed and nurtured. I mean, that's probably the only card that's come out here that is in any way about your mental thoughts, how you think about things, and you know, whether or not people are stabbing you in the back with those 6 of Swords. Well, you can turn your back on worrying about that. And this is saying that you're more supported than I think that you really realise. There's something hidden about it, so maybe you can't grab hold of it as yet, but it's also letting you know that you are building for your future, and financially over the next course of this year, really, because as I said, that lunar eclipse energy does stay around for about 6 months, so and it influences our life for about 6 months, and yours is to do with overseas, other cultures, higher education, and dreams, visions, speculation, and your abstract mind as well. So maybe some of you Scorpios are actually going to, you know, get more arty and use more of your imagination than what you may have been able to. Okay, so just remembering that Pluto energy that is here playing out in your communications is about rules and man-made structures. and it doesn't let you move forward with anything that isn't in alignment with your highest good. So you reap what you sow. Okay? But if you are moving forward with your higher alignment, because the Jupiter, once Jupiter and Pluto conjunct, which is coming up in the not too distant future, I'll just actually have a look for you, Scorpio, in my ephemeris to just see when that actual conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto is going to take place, to give you a bit of an idea of what you're able to look forward to. Okay, so late March, or the later part of March, by the looks of this, early April. So March, April. But I just found it interesting because the Jupiter conjunct Pluto is the millionaire's conjunction, and it's about hidden wealth. And you've got the Ten of Pentacles there in the area that is about something behind the scenes and something hidden. So let me know how things work out there for you, Scorpio, but that looks awfully good to me. Lovely. Okay, so confirmation card, please, for Scorpio for January. Animal message, animal medicine. What would the animals like to speak to Scorpio about for January? Thank you. Alright, dolphin. Free! Yay! So there's a sense of freedom which I really do feel is to do with Mercury moving into Aquarius on the 17th, and then the Sun will be moving into Aquarius after the 20th, 21st, so that will be lifting spirits and bringing a sense of freedom. So make a break for greater freedom, asserting your independence and free spirit. You need space like a dolphin, frolicking carefree through the ocean waves. Add a touch of playful exhilaration, connecting with your inner child, and release needless inhibitions. Well, there you go. So you can do some inner child work, that is letting me know here with this. And the inner child work I find that is really wonderful is getting yourself into a relaxive meditative state, and use deep breathing techniques, and maybe you may need some guided meditation to listen to get you there. And once you do, you visualize you as a child. And it doesn't matter what age that you are. When I did it with me, I was in my inner child work, I was about 6 or 7 years old. You can be younger or you could be older than that. But just visualize yourself as a child, and now you, as an adult, tell that beautiful child how much you love them and how good they're going to do, that they've got nothing to be scared of, and that they can trust their instincts, and wrap your arms around the child and give your inner child a really big, loving, comforting hug. And you can also let your inner child know anything else. Like, it's like that, if you could tell your younger self something now that you're older, what would that be? That's the kind of work that you need to give to your inner child. Make it positive and nurturing. It's about you, it's not about other people. So leave other people out of it and just let that, you may just want to tell your inner child that they're a loving, radiant being and that they are loved and treasured. I'll leave that up to you, Scorpions. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your prayers of and blessings and wishes being sent down here to Australia. Much thanks and gratitude to you all, and I will talk to you again soon. Namaste from Australia. Any of you out there that are watching, also, I have left links in the description box below to just let you know in case there's anyone that would like to donate or find some of the sites in Australia where they may be able to help or be of assistance. I have left those links. They are legitimate links that will take you to the check them out and click on them, and they will take you to the different charities that are taking care of this crisis down here at the moment. Again, thank you for your blessings and well wishes. Talk to you again soon.